Welcome back. Now, before the break, I told you about Hyperloop. It's a mode of transportation that can propel a pod-like vehicle through a near vacuum tube and more than the speed of an airline. Now, the Railway Ministry is in talks with developers to bring Hyperloop to India. Globally, there are a handful of players working on this technology, and two of them happen to be in India this week. Our teams in Mumbai and Delhi caught up with these companies, and here are their stories. First up, the story of LA-based Hyperloop One that is co-founded by serial entrepreneur and investor Sherwin Peshawar. Having raised over $160 million from investors like Khosla Ventures, G Ventures and DP World Group, Hyperloop One has already tested its Hyperloop propulsion motor in the US, and a full test run of its Hyperloop is a few months away. The team is now focusing its attention on India to develop projects in the public-private partnership sphere. CNBC TV 18 Saina Denugara brings you the Hyperloop One story.
We are not selling transportation, we are selling time. That's the sales pitch of Hyperloop One, a Los Angeles-based startup which is one of the frontrunners in the race to develop the first functional Hyperloop in the world. What is the Hyperloop, you ask? Very simply, it's a levitated pod that carries cargo or passengers and glides through a low-pressure tube propelled by an electric motor. It's fashioned on the technology that maverick entrepreneur Elon Musk outlined in an open-source white paper back in 2013. A year later, Sherwin Peshawar, an Iranian-American entrepreneur and venture capitalist, co-founded Hyperloop One with the vision of making the white paper a reality.
Hyperloop is about the freedom of time and space and place. In the same way that broadband and mobile came to the world and governments had to change their regulatory environments, Hyperloop will also inspire both government leaders and citizens to want to have that kind of innovation, because who wouldn't want to be able to make a 2-hour trip into a 20-minute trip?
From a handful of people working out of a garage in LA, the Hyperloop One team is now over 200 people strong, with technologists, machinists, designers and welders working together at this facility in the Nevada desert to test run the Hyperloop later this year. The goal is to move cargo by 2020 and passengers by 2021. In talks with the Road Transport Authority in the US, the government of Dubai and authorities here in India, it might very well be that India becomes the site for one of the first functional Hyperloops anywhere in the world.
You look at that very, very top priority of increasing the manufacturing base in India. One thing is missing, and that's a very efficient logistics and internal transportation infrastructure. So when we think of Hyperloop and our ability to really redefine what a modern manufacturing infrastructure looks like and how factories and plants could be connected to ports and supply chain, that is a big, big part of our vision. So some of the routes we're looking at are coming from ports. Some of them are cargo. Some of them are just passenger. We're going to see 2 or 3 projects become very clear by the end of 2017, and our goal is to then begin construction of 1 or 2 of those in 2018 and 2019.
One of the first routes that may be developed in India is along the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor. The focus is on working in a public-private partnership or PPP format, along with the government as well as private industry players to localize manufacturing facilities and deliver on the promise that the Hyperloop can be developed at 2/3 the cost of a bullet train.
Not only that, we need much smaller land take. We don't need as much land, and we want to be unobtrusive as we build the new systems. We can also build tunnels at a fraction of the cost required to build the tunnels for a large train to operate in. And we have much lower operating costs. We're all electric.
The economic analysis that we've done, we were able to move people 3 times faster, 3 times cheaper than any other solution available.
Sherwin's 2030 vision is to be in a position to connect countries across a Hyperloop One grid. In New Delhi, Saina Denugara.
What a fascinating story there. While Hyperloop One has initiated talks with the central government, Bob Gresta's Hyperloop Transportation Technologies has been in talks with state governments like those in Orissa and Jharkhand. CNBC TV 18 Shruti Mishra caught up with Gresta in Mumbai. Here's a slice of that conversation on the company's India plans. Take a look.
You feel more comfortable than an airplane because the trick is to accelerate slow enough that you can reach the speed of sound without feeling it.
Yeah.
And this is compared with the air system, is more safe because you have a protected environment that can actually be not influenced by weather, by any other external condition. You can't have a cow in the middle, or you can't have a car stuck.
What is the kind of speed that we'll see?
1,223 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
But that's the maximum speed. You can reach the maximum level when you have a straight line, but right now we are foreseeing to build an Hyperloop on top of existing right-of-way. So in the middle of an highway, or a side of an highway, or on top of a rail.
You're creating this next big breakthrough in transportation. Can you share with us some of your ongoing projects?
We actually negotiated with 20 of them. And in 5, particularly in California, UAE, Slovakia, Czech Republic, and France, we signed deals to actually start a feasibility study and then go to construction of the first full-scale Hyperloop. And right now, we're also negotiating in India.
I was coming to that. Tell us about what plans do you have for India and how is it all going to impact us?
So we met Modi and then the Ministry of Transportation, Gadkari, during several of my trip here in India. And then I met several chief ministers. The interest is big.
Any cities that you've zeroed in on, any projects that you've confirmed yet, and if you can give us a timeline as to when do we hope something getting started, and what is the kind of budgets that you're looking at?
So right now we have 5 offers on the table.
Okay.
I don't want to disclose.
5 offers exclusively for India?
For India,
okay.
Yeah. So in 5 different regions. And right now the deal is always the same. We are bringing money from external investors. We want a minimum commitment from the state to give us the land and to pay half of the feasibility study. We will put the rest. And because the system is profitable, we can actually attract international investors. We are now starting a roadshow here in India to actually start to put together the resources to build the first one.
Well, that's the story of Hyperloop transportation, and that could be the future of transportation around the world, including India. With that, it's a time for us to wrap up this special presentation, getting the railways back on track. We'll see you again soon. From all of us here, goodbye. Many thanks for watching.